Hi, this is Attorney Howard Eichen, and we're going to talk about one of the most difficult problems facing anyone in a divorce. That's the problem of finding purposely hidden or concealed assets. This happens a lot of times if there's a small business in the family, if a lot of cash is being handled, or probably the most common scenario where one spouse trusted the other spouse for many, many years to handle the family assets and put them in various bank accounts, investment vehicles, and more often than not, one spouse simply trusts the other person and doesn't keep track of where the money has gone. The problem is, in order for the court to divide assets, you have to find assets and present it to the divorce court. Judges will not take the job, and they certainly don't have to find assets, and the court in itself really has no mechanism to find assets for you. So where does that leave you? Well, you have to do a combination of hiring a really good attorney who knows how to search for things, an attorney who has some mechanisms or tools they can use to find assets. And you also have to be the kind of person to help your attorney quite a bit do some legwork and look for assets yourself. The most obvious thing, if you think divorce is in the air, you need to grab onto any kind of paperwork and copy it, document wherever you see assets, and basically go in an information collection mode. So what if you haven't done this and your spouse is hiding assets? What are the different things you can do or your attorney can do? Well, the most basic tool that attorneys have is the subpoena. We can serve a document on companies, on medical providers, on businesses, on pretty much anyone, and it's called a record subpoena, and that allows us to get some records that we can look through, find some assets, find some information, and possibly figure out more places to send subpoenas. When you have a small company business that your spouse is running by themselves, a lot of times there's absolutely no substitute for getting what we call a forensic CPA. This is a type of individual, and they are a CPA, that works primarily on tracing and figuring out assets. You should go around and talk with people, possibly employees of the business or anyone who's seen or has contact with the flow of money that your spouse has been involved in. Pretty much your attorney, you, and your CPA have to work as a team and keep working at finding these hidden assets. At some point, of course, you have to figure out what the potential assets are, what the cost is of tracking them down, and if it's worth it to track down those assets. There's a lot of different tools an attorney can use. There's a lot of different tools someone familiar with business can use. Personally, I've spent many years involved in the buying and selling companies process, and I know pretty much every trick of the trade. One way to get around concealment of income in a business is to subpoena records from vendors, and you can use the purchase of supplies to mathematically track back and figure out how much revenue that business has each year. That's not the only trick. There's a lot of different things you can do, even if there's not a business, to find hidden assets. Come in and talk to us, free consultation, and we'll let you know if we can help your particular situation and how much work will be involved tracking down those hidden assets. This is Attorney Howard Eichen.